Okay, so it seems to be rolling okay. Namaste. Blessings. Thanks for joining me in this video. Hope you're doing wonderful today on your epic, sacred, marvelous, soulful journey here on this place called Earth. I wanted to make a video today for you just talking about how the ego in us can be very subtle, and a lot of people who've been interested in spirituality for a long time and are interested in meditation and holiness and love and light, basically everybody, we're still learning here on Earth. So I just notice in people, people like anybody, especially everybody happens to get offended or irritated sometimes, and like I notice the people who are interested in spirituality get offended too, and it makes me think. And I notice this, and I just like to if I can, and if I happen to notice something, I just try and pass a pointer so that they don't have to get upset or irritated anymore, bothered. For example, today I was in my beautiful friend's house, a lovely woman, and she was recalling in her mind how when she was in America, that she was at a retreat or something got to do with like health and raw food and stuff, and some of the people there started to like say so-called, according to her story, like some bad type of comments or negative comments and remarks, sort of putting down like one of the raw food leaders, whose name is Brian Clement, of the Hippocrates Health Institute in Florida. Not only him, but also another guy called Gabriel Cousins, who's authored many books too. But apparently these people were putting these people down a little bit. But the thing is, my friend seemed to be a little bit bothered by this, not too happy with this behaviour. And that's okay. That's cool. But I'm just saying, when you get bothered by people's immature behaviour, or like childish type of immature sort of behaviour, it doesn't feel good to be bothered or upset, and it doesn't do any good to anybody. It's not really sending out a very positive vibration into the world or into your surroundings. So anyway, I just said to her that like I wouldn't get bothered by this, like just try not get bothered, because like they're just like immature people, like making sort of like, if they're putting down somebody who's like trying to help these lovely like men who are trying to help, and they have helped so thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people who've been sick. So even if these other people who are making comments, like possibly negative comments, all I could say is I wouldn't take them so seriously. Like that's one of my biggest remarks in life, like just chill, relax, like I wouldn't take things so seriously. Basically, when we get bothered, it boils down to we're not allowing something. We're not allowing these people to express themselves. We're not allowing them to be the way they are. So we're trying to control when we get bothered, typically. Not always, but typically. One way with people, we're trying to control the situation. Like a lot of people get bothered by, a simple example would be the weather. It's raining or whatever. Some people say the weather's shit, the weather's crap. And I can say that too, and I can say it in lightness. It's like, the weather's shit today. I never actually really say that, but I might say, I don't know, I don't really say that about the weather, because I don't know, I'm just really casual and chilled out about the weather. I don't really mind. Although I've an uttermost, maximum, completely and utter, big, huge, enormous preference for sunny, warm weather. Being skinny or slim myself, I totally enjoy the warmer weather, and I feel the cold weather a lot. So, but it doesn't bother me in the slightest bit if it's raining. But yeah, I can make like from a non-egoical point of view, somebody can say, "Shit weather today, eh?" And like they're just like kind of very casual, very chill. Maybe it's neutral emotionally, or maybe it's even like joking, you know. So it's a positive comment almost. It's like a joke. Someone could say nothing about the weather, but could be feeling all emotionally upset about the weather, that they were hoping it was a sunny day, and now they're all disappointed. So let's try not get disappointed with people. If anybody does a mean thing, they're out of balance, they're out of harmony, they're out of touch with source, their true self, the silence of themselves. They're out of touch with inner peace and harmony. They're lost in conditioning, they're lost in their mind, and they're lost in emotions. So we should have more like compassion on these people, not anger, not bothered, not irritated. But at the same time, we can be very empowered, and with this energy, we can say to them in a very clear, simple, direct, firm, genuine way, hey guys, like, if they're making bad comments about somebody who's like a good helper, a healer or a light worker or a physical like healer of some kind, you can say, hey guys, like, what, I don't agree with what you're saying. Like, these guys, you know, here we are, we could think of people like immature people, like let's say you're a mother or father and you have children. They are immature, just like so many of the adults, like nearly you could call everybody immature as a human, almost, like basically speaking, 99.9% of the people. Because this is what Earth is, you're learning and developing and growing, so you're not like a fully matured, beautiful oak tree, you're a beautiful, like, sapling or whatever, you're growing. So you don't get angry at children for being immature and not knowing how the world works. But adults similarly don't know how emotions and thoughts work and how their ego works. They're being controlled by their emotions and thoughts and fears and judgments and resistance and everything else. If they truly had free will, they wouldn't really choose this necessarily. You don't want to be all depressed for a very long time. Not your true self, but the pain body or the painful shadow aspect of you does like to be depressed, because at this stage of being lost in ego and if you're very, very negative. I know some depression can be very physical and not related exactly to the ego, but a lot of people being very negative thinkers, or it's just the ego. So in this stage of egoicness, you think you are your ego, so you you don't want to lose your sense of who you think you are, like an unlucky, sick or depressed person, like a victim. You don't want to lose this identity, because who you think you are, and if you were to lose this, like it's like you would be dead. So here the purpose of this video is to try not to get bothered, and that's to allow everyone to be the way they are. So with these people like being bothered, you could allow them to be the way they are, allow them to be immature, allow them to be in a state of learning. That's fine. You don't criticize people when they're learning. That's the nature of evolution. You grow. You don't criticize somebody for being a child or for being small. You know they're growing, and you just help them on their path. So maybe you say to them, hey guys, like these Gabriel Cousins, Blind Clement, they're like beautiful people. Like, I know them. She happens to know one of them or two of them. I know them. They're fantastic. They're really trim and lean. They're not all fat like you say they are. Like, appreciate their intentions. Be a powerful, fearless speaker. Speak your heart and your truth in full blossom, in full force, full bloom, full power, full beauty, with loving kindness and compassion and understanding for everybody. So you don't have any problem, you're not upset, but you're going to speak because you have the option to speak, not to speak. So you're going to speak towards the truth, and you're going to defend, so to speak. You're going to elaborate on the intentions of kindness and goodness of these healers. So in ordinary daily language, you could say you're defending these people, but you're not really carrying the energy of defending, because you don't feel attacked. If you don't feel attacked, then you're not defending. You're just talking. You're communicating happily. So you can just say to them that maybe they're wrong, or you think that they're wrong, and like, look at the good, kind hearts of these people. There's like, they've helped tens of thousands of people. It's not nice to be focusing on the negative or making these like type of comments. It doesn't help the atmosphere, or it doesn't help what's going on around us. And I'm like, come on guys, like, let's be more like loving or positive, or like kind of like respectful. But you know, when you're not defending because you don't feel attacked and you're not bothered, then people don't necessarily feel an energy of attack, because you're not attacking them either, you're just talking to them. So most of the time, in my own experience, like, I get on fantastic with everybody, basically all of the time, except for some occasions where some people, they just have their pain body active, and their ego is very active. So no matter what my energy is, no matter what I'm saying, they're in their own world, their own bubble of negativity, so they misconstrue what I'm saying or doing as something like negative, like controlling or mean or attacking them, when actually it's not. Somebody on Facebook a few months ago thought that I was looking for an argument, and I thought of them as my friend, like, not somebody who I knew reasonably. We were developing friendship. Like, I thought I knew him pretty well enough to be really open and honest with him on Facebook. And he misconstrued me as looking for an argument, and I never look for an argument. Like, I never look to try and have a nasty or unfriendly or disrespectful quarrel with anybody. So I said to him clearly, like, no, 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 of course I'm not. Like, I'm not doing that at all. You were speaking very clearly and blatantly open and honest with me. And presuming we're friends enough that we can both be blatantly, truthfully, nakedly real and genuine and speak our interpretations of each other or the situation. I spoke how I felt truthfully and what I was thinking. But even though he said like, yeah, you're looking, seems like you're looking for an argument still, and I just said I wasn't and tried to explain that I wasn't. But no matter what you can do or type, reading words on Facebook or reading words, it's much more easy to misinterpret because you don't see their body language, you don't see them smiling at you, you don't feel their energy as much really, unless you're very sensitive. You don't feel their energy from a different country or a different place. So it's much more left into the mind's interpretation. So for me, I want to help people on the spiritual path and everybody to get rid of the last levels of being bothered. One other thing about being bothered is the ego likes it. The ego likes to feel superior or special, extra special or better than other people. So for example, in my case right now, I could possibly feel like more special or better or like superior than this woman, my friend I'm talking about. But that's something that I have to ask myself, like, do I feel like, is this my ego? Do I feel like the sense of superiority or better than this person? And I don't feel like intrinsically better, but sometimes we might happen to be honestly better at some things. For example, some people are better dancers, if you can say that. They may be better at knitting, better at dancing, I already said that, better at communicating possibly, but always a learning curve. Some people are better electricians, better at public speaking, better at listening, better at feeling empathy towards people. So it's not like someone is intrinsically better, it's more like somebody has like a little bit of maybe extra development in an area, and in this case we all learn from each other, someone who's got extra development. And we're all teachers because everyone's better. You're better at many things than other people, and it's like we've like millions or thousands of characteristics. So life is a learning curve. We're all students and teachers of each other all the time. So there's nothing good or bad about that. There's nothing wrong. It's the truth. It's fine to have the truth. It's okay to express the truth, even if you're saying you're better at something or you're worse at something. The thing is, if it's the ego, you'll feel the sense of grandeur, of like happiness and loftiness, like like you're sitting on a throne, and like you're sitting on a throne. And with this will come possibly an apprehension if somebody puts you down or you're afraid of being put down, because that's the opposite effect. You're afraid of losing this sense of superiority or specialness. You're afraid to be inferior. So you might feel emotionally bothered or uncomfortable if somebody makes a remark about you not being good at something, or you don't listen properly, or anything like that. If you feel emotionally bothered, that's nearly most likely for sure your ego or your pain body. Otherwise, you just feel light and fine, and you allow somebody to express themselves truthfully at you, even if you feel it's wrong or unjust. You allow it, and then maybe you explain that maybe it's not the truthful case, possibly. So allow everything. Need nothing, if possible. Like in a romantic relationship, you might want to come home, for example, and you might want a hug or a kiss or a sense of acknowledgement or a hi, something like that from your partner. But let's say you don't get that. Let's say they don't want to hug you or kiss you, or they push you away a little bit, or they're busy doing something and they kind of just push you away. This could bother people a bit, and this is like a subtle sense of botherment, and you trying to be controlling. Here's a good question. I came across this recently myself. I just felt a bit upset, I suppose. What can you do? I felt a little bit upset because my girlfriend, my partner, I felt that this happened with me, and I had to ask myself, was I trying to be controlling? Because I said that I was upset, and like that I didn't really like, I like it. I don't like it. I like closeness and stuff, not to be disregarded or pushed away affectionately. Or I know there's a time and a place, but how hard is it? Like sometimes, not trying to give out to anybody, but sometimes we have to make a little bit of effort, and sometimes you have to chill out a little bit and let people do what they're doing, and then we can have some affection or what we consider normal later on. sometimes also somebody can make a little bit of an effort just for a few seconds to pause what they're doing, to include you in what they're doing, to make you feel part of it. Like if someone is like cooking and you want to have a taste or have a look in the pot, it's pretty strict in my opinion to like say no, go away to somebody, rather than just including them. But each to their own. And I know everybody's different, but we all have the way we like our relationships, romantically or otherwise, to be. For me, I just like connection and community. I like to feel part and be included, and I like to include people. I'm a little bit like a child in that sense. I'll be like curious to see what's cooking or what's being prepared, and I might want to like have a taste possibly, or even if I don't want to have a taste, which most of the time I don't, I might just want to see what it is or have a look. So it's always good to ask yourself, are you being controlling? I ask myself, was I being controlling? And this is one of the times where I found it least easy to come to an automatic like understanding of the situation. Usually I'd have a good understanding very quickly, but this one got me for a little bit. You know, I was thinking, is Sally being kind of a little bit distant, or not exactly mean, but distant or unfriendly, unkindish, standoffish? Or am I trying to control her? And the thing was, I don't think I was trying to control her. I did say what I would like though, and that's not being controlling. I brought it up because I felt a bit uncomfortable with the situation. I brought it up because I wanted to, and I don't like being like pushed away when I'm being really open and kind and giving myself to somebody and they just push me away. I think that's not really a nice thing to do, really, you know. Like, it's like if you went to your mother and wanted to hug her or kiss her and they sort of just pushed you away, and you say, Mum, like, Dad, whatever, I don't really like when you do that. And is that being controlling of you? It is if you're demanding hugs and kisses like right now and you're trying to force them right now to get your way. But if you're saying like, hey, in the future, like, this is the way I'd like things to be, that's the way we negotiate our life and our relationships and our friendships. If somebody does something to you that's sort of like mean or unkind or unfriendly, like let's say they buy everybody else dinner but they leave you out of dinner. The question is it reasonable, I think? Is it reasonable or fair, or like, is it a reasonable, okay thing to wish for? To be included in dinner when the rest of your family are having dinner? So if you say like you're upset that you were left out, or like, why was I left out? I was a little bit upset because I don't know why I was left out of dinner. Like, you could say the same thing. When you're in a romantic relationship, isn't it more or less reasonable to be not sort of like just not looked at and not acknowledged, not just pushed away, sort of? That's not what a romantic relationship for me is about at all. So I'll say it, and that's how I won't continue it. If the person left out of their dinner didn't say anything, and then it might just keep continuing. So if there's ever anything happening in your relationships or friendships that you don't like, if you don't say it, you're empowering it and continuing it. Okay. So this kind of like is totally related to, we are responsible for our own feelings. It's not somebody else like doing something to you. It's never somebody else doing something to you. So we have to take responsibility for our own feelings, and never to blame it on somebody else, never to attack people for how you're feeling. It's always you. So and similarly, the opposite is true. You're not responsible for other people's feelings. So if they get upset, it's not because of you, but you can have your part in it. The more full of pain body or ego they have and shadow, then you can trigger them like pressing their buttons. You're like in control. So the more aware somebody is, then the more they're in control of their own emotions. So in that, I shall more or less wrap up, and just to remember to always be truthful, but to be kind and compassionate and understanding too. So don't be selfishly saying, if you're upset, that's your problem. That's a very cold, sort of like egoic type of way to view what I just said. It's like we always want to think about other people and be caring and considerate as well. Yeah, we want to be doing that, of course. So just work with them, but also help them to realize, if possible, that they can't be blaming you for how they feel. They have to figure that out themselves. And so do we. It's about allowing, not being bothered, but being empowered co-creator of our friendships and relationships and our life, and always sort of expecting the best to happen, and waiting and viewing, expecting the best to happen in our relationships and friendships and our things in life. So be realistic, but also be positive, and sort of trust that the universe will give you your deepest, greatest good, and you'll learn as you go along. Celebrate as you go along. Rejoice in gratitude as you go along. And create a space for the best things to come to you. That's what I'm trying to say. Create a space of happily allowing the best things to happen to you in your life, and anything you might be apprehensive about. Just pretend, imagine, see the best outcome for yourself and feel happy for it, and that'll definitely help to manifest it. Be grateful for it happening. Just imagine it all turning out easily and pretty straightforwardly. Just smile at it, so you don't have to feel as anxious or apprehensive at all. And you can think about that in your relationships too, romantically or friendship or any relationships. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was a bit of a help. I hope the examples brought some deeper insight. There's nothing to be like either embarrassed about or prideful about anything, including things that happen in your life. So it's not like we're better or worse than anybody. We all have stuff to learn. So just remember that about yourself. You've got stuff to learn. Try not to be prideful. That's just the ego. Try not to feel superior or inferior or embarrassed. It's okay. We're just all learning. There's nobody exempt from that. And we're all perfectly imperfect, so to speak. And we're all unique and beautiful that way. That's the way it's made. We're all unique and beautiful, and we're all special and precious, but nobody's extra special than another person. So don't be like thinking you're worse than anybody in that regard, or don't thinking you're better than anybody. So 2 thumbs up. Feel welcome to give me a thumbs up on the video. Just the video, thumbs up. And you're any new people watching, like, thanks for watching. Welcome. Feel welcome to subscribe up here somewhere. And hi to all my regular friends and viewers. Thanks for all of your other comments. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome to share or favorite for any other people you might know, like friends or family. And I think that's it. So until the next time, much love to you, and hope you have a lovely day and lots of fun. Peace. See ya.